So we are back for another game review of a new game I played over on my second channel, LoneWolfXP 2. This time around we got Horizon Forbidden West. This one is exclusive to PlayStation for now, but I'm sure it'll come to PC just like the first game did, maybe in a few months, maybe a year or two. Who knows how long it'll take. But before we get into it, I want to thank you for all the support on the last review for Dying Light 2. That was my first ever video game review. This time around I broke the review up between a gameplay, audio, story, and bugs and glitches, and then of course we got the final opinion. With all that being said, let's get straight into it, man. So Horizon Forbidden West is set 6 months after the events of the ending of Horizon Zero Dawn, and Aloy, which is our main character, goes out west to basically try and save the Earth from a plague. That's the simplest way I can put it. New and old allies assist her in her journey. To get into the gameplay of it, the performance mode that I played on ran really smoothly. I never really noticed any FPS dips. It looks incredible even in performance mode, one of the best looking PS5 games. The open world for this game is fire. It makes you feel like you actually want to take the time and explore it. It's set in post-apocalyptic California, Utah, and Nevada. Las Vegas, once you get to that section of the game, there's just so many different like locations that are just super dope to look at. And even the photo mode, I barely even use that in video games, but you can definitely get some good shots with that photo mode just because of the environment itself. But there are plenty of things to do in the open world. Usually, you know what I'm saying, some open worlds are pretty empty, but they're big at the same time, if that makes any sense. Pause on that. There's a lot of things to do though, in terms of main quests, of course, side quests, which are actually interesting. We'll get to that in a second. Errands, which are like miniature side quests, I guess you could say. Collectibles you can get. There's enemy outposts and camps. Basically everything from the first game, plus a little bit more. There's more ways to traverse and get around the environment. It's a bigger map this time around, so thank God there's more ways to get around the environment. In terms of ledge jumping, that's in the game now. Grappling hooking, fast travel is back, but it is also free if you fast travel specifically from campfires. There's still fast travel packs, so like if you're in the middle of nowhere and you want to fast travel, you got to have that fast travel pack. But there's a shield wing, which is basically like a glider, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can use to get around the map. I still think though they need to improve the fluidity of the movement, because compared to a game like Uncharted, Assassin's Creed, and even Dying Light, which we just played, the movement isn't as responsive. Aloy sometimes gets stuck in like a place, won't jump to a ledge right away. Stuff like that just needs to be touched up on. I don't even know if they can at this point, but if they do make a third game, that's something they need to work on for sure. They completely remove the crafting from the main menu screen and incorporates it into a fast crafting system on the go, and that's a great quality of life change. Everything you need is on the main HUD while you're in the game. There's a deeper skill tree in this game as well. Instead of the 4 branches the original game have, this game has 6 branches. There's passive abilities. Your current outfit can boost those passive abilities, such as giving you like additional regen speed, cooldown reduction. There's valors, which are like special ultimate abilities in a branch of the skill tree. My favorite one that I used during my play session was called the Stealth Stalker, which basically gave Aloy an invisibility cloak on some Harry Potter type stuff to sneak by enemies or machines, or sneak up on enemies, which was really fun to use because I like stealth, and that's something that you could do in this game. So they already checked that box off, in my opinion, for me. The skill tree also has something called weapon techniques, which are basically like weapon skills that you can do. My personal favorite weapon technique was for the hunter bow, and it was called triple notch, which allows you to shoot 3 arrows at a time, and each weapon has their own unique weapon technique you can unlock, and you can actually switch out the weapon techniques on the go that can best fit that situation that you're in. Along with the valors, you can switch that out on the go. The skill tree is definitely not lacking. One of my favorite parts about the game. Moving on from the skill tree though, the controls are pretty much the same exactly from the first game. Easy to get used to, but you can choose to like map the controls however you want it. The boss fights in this game are great. There's even some boss fights in the side quests that I played, which were also challenging and fun. But that's pretty much everything for gameplay related that I enjoyed or didn't enjoy. Next up is the audio for this game, and the soundtrack is great. It fits the theme of the game well, in my opinion. You can customize the audio settings to your liking turning down the machine volume, weapon volume, ambient sounds is really specific with sliders and stuff like that for music and dialogue as well. Now moving on to the story. This is a spoiler-free review, but I just wanted to touch up on some things involving the story because I didn't really click with the main game story in the first game that much. I didn't really care too much for it. I was more so there for the gameplay. The story had its moments in the first game, but for this one, I feel like Aloy has a clearer and stronger purpose right off the rip. I mean, I guess the first game really had to build things up because Aloy was a child in the first game. There was like a whole recap at the beginning of this game. The characters in this game, new and old, they have more depth to them. You care about them, which is a good positive from me. The side quests too, even the characters you meet from there have their own unique stories. It's actually rewarding to do some of the side quests, and the stories behind them, you'll actually kind of get into them. Sometimes they're multi-part side quests, which is interesting enough. They don't fully matter towards the main story though, these side quests, but you can get extra dialogue or other small cool changes by doing them. There aren't that many dialogue choices though in the main story compared to the first game. In terms of the way you can respond to people, you only see them for a few situations. There's only one ending of the game, so your overall choices don't really matter too much. Some of the cutscenes can be different though, and from what I've seen on YouTube, there's a completely new one that I didn't see from one of the choices that I didn't make. So it's kind of cool, like they put the extra effort in for that, but there's no multi-ending, so you don't got to worry too much about your choices. There isn't a New Game Plus feature currently though, but they added New Game Plus with an update in Horizon Zero Dawn, so it's safe to say they'll do the same thing for Forbidden West. Now we got the bugs and glitches of this game. Now it's not anything game breaking, so I'm glad to say that, but right off the rip, I'm not even gonna say something that's a bug or a glitch, but the navigation to quests or like just markers in this game can be misleading sometimes, man. I wish there was an option to turn on a mini map. I don't know why games started taking away mini maps now and are putting compasses all over the place. Some of the objectives don't even pop up on the compass. Like, that's what I mean. Like, trying to follow some of these waypoints, it'll take you in the most random direction, and I would much rather just have a mini map / radar, whatever you want to call it. In terms of bugs and glitches though, the dialogue will cut out sometimes.
All this stuff. Wonder what they were doing here. Yeah, that sounds about right.
People just go along with their dialogue like Aloy was supposed to say something in between what they last said, if that makes any sense. Characters be disappearing sometimes and reappearing in cutscenes, so that's kind of like a, I guess, visual bug. The game will render things in super late sometimes. I don't know what the reason for that is, because, you know, I'm saying the PS5, I'm playing on performance mode. It just seems to happen every now and then. And then another thing I noticed is that sometimes when you're entering a new area or something, it'll be like a black screen. I guess it kind of is like an accidental loading screen, because there's not really that many loading screens in the game besides when you like fast travel and stuff like that. But I think they said that was a bug that they were working on, that loading screen issue. And then the last thing I had a problem with was like Aloy's hair would sometimes glitch out. Her outfits could also make her glitch out in cutscenes. Like an example that I had, an outfit that I had with a mask on it, her face would clip through the mask a lot. I don't know, for right now, there's a few visual things that they need to work on. It's nothing like that's happening like a lot though, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't ran into anything that's constantly being annoying. This is me just speaking on my experience from the first week of this game being out, but most of this stuff should be pretty easy to fix, I'm not gonna lie. The only thing is the navigation. That probably would take some time if they even consider it, but my final opinion, final verdict of Horizon Forbidden West, I definitely recommend that you pick up this game, especially if you have a PlayStation. Without a doubt, get this game. And if you are already like enjoying open world games, it improves so much on everything from the first game. So if you even like Zero Dawn, 100% Horizon Forbidden West is something that you should get. If you have a PS5 though, you can buy the PS4 version of this game for $60, and you can automatically upgrade to the PS5 version of the game for free. So it's definitely a game of the year contender for me so far. That's as much as I'll say in terms of a score. We'll see, because we still got God of War Ragnarok. That's something I'm looking forward to, and maybe a whole bunch of other games that haven't been released or we need to see more about. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this review off here before I go on the tangent. Horizon Forbidden West, let me know how I did with this review. If there's anything more you want to know in the comments, drop it down there below. Drop a like if you did enjoy. If it was helpful, drop a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And without further ado, I'm gonna see you in the next one. Peace.